Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. And joining me through Discord, shit, I did it. After I had a good streak of not saying Discord. Joining me on StreamYards. I almost dropped my headphones. That was what that
Christian begged us to murder him every time he did that.
I did beg them. I was on my knees being like, murder me every time I do this. But also joining me is the man who killed me, the Gangsta Time, Josh, Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Hey. Also joining us, it is our producer, Edgelord Big News, Brian.
Sup, nerds?
Hey. How are you doing, boys? Are we doing good, boys?
I want to see how much of a nerd you actually are, Brian. Sorry, Chris. So he has his avatar. For those who can't see, he sets his avatar to a different Pokemon every night, and I mean every pod. And this time he has the Pokemon known as Grumpig. Brian, I feel like you don't even know ball like that. So I'm gonna test you. What type is Grumpig?
Psychic, dark, or something like that. Dark's no, I think it's psychic. He's definitely a psychic type. I'm pretty sure.
What is your final answer, Brian?
Commit to something, Brian.
I'm growing weary of the extracurriculars. I used that too early. It's not the typing type. That's not what type it is. I know that, Brian.
He's a psychic type. I'm pretty sure.
You Googled it. I literally.
I did not.
In letter by letter.
I did not.
Right. I'm guessing, but
those are one of.
It sounded like it.
Those are one of the two fucking options that I said from the jump. Are you fucking kidding me?
My nigga, you should have said.
Have some faith in humanity, Josh. Have some faith in fucking humanity.
Psychic dark, bro. I'm not gonna hose you. You
did say psychic dark.
Yo, you living lives. You living a life. You claiming a life that you're not living, bro.
You're just mad that I got it right, and you're trying to cope and figure out a way to discredit my win.
Is he a psychic type?
What the actual situation that's happening? Yes, he is a psychic type.
That gives a lot of credence to what he's saying.
Is that if you're a real ass,
is he
Pokemon
psychic dark?
Fan, all right, bro, no, he's just psychic,
okay.
And you should have knew that. Because that's from Gen 3. And Gen 3 has the most randomizers, hacks, and all of that. You should know.
I only play Platinum.
I'm gonna tell you, ask me any Pokemon, I'll tell you what type it is. Ask me any Pokemon, I'll know what type it is, bro.
Octillery.
Water.
What else?
That's it. And it evolves from Remoraid.
Nope, it's Water Rock.
You wish.
It is. Octillery is Water Rock.
No, it's not. It's just water. The octopus. You're thinking about Relicanth. Relicanth is rock and water.
What the fuck? I could have sworn this one was fucking
Brian,
water rock.
come on. And you wasn't even under the microscope this time.
I got you. I got you right now, Josh. You're about to be thrown for a loop.
This is like Pokemon is like One Piece for me. Klefki. Oh, Steel and Fairy. Fuck Klefki.
Yeah, that was easy, Chris.
Yeah. I hate that Pokemon so much.
It's a set of keys.
Yeah, but it's really annoying. It like spreads status and puts like hazards on the field. It's such a pain in the ass. Okay, what else? Are you looking for obscure Pokemon?
Yeah, actually, I don't know I don't know ball like that. I'm never gonna pretend that, but I'm gonna
Parasect.
Bug and grass.
Actually, it's a ground rock. Nice try, pal.
Yeah, right. Is there a ground? Oh, you said ground and rock? Yeah, that's like Graveler, Golem, Judo.
Frostlass.
That's one of my favorites. That's Ghost and Ice.
Wrong. No, you're right. I'm lying.
You know, and its best stat is speed.
Calyrex.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know, bro.
grass sidekick, but it has two different forms from the base form.
Yeah, no, I'm literally I have a random Pokemon generator up.
All right,
So,
let's go one more.
Hold on, I'm trying to find a good one.
Because
That's
there might be one I'm like, damn,
super obvious.
there's maybe like 5 or 6 that I might like not really know. Like some of the newer ones. You gotta hit me with one of the newer ones.
I'm trying to find one.
Because I
I'm trying to
have
find one that doesn't look fucking obvious. That's not like a literal fish.
You'd be surprised. Some of the ones that look like fish would be like dark and poison. You're like, huh? The fucking blower fish is not a water type? You literally have a fish that's made of fire and it's a fire dark type.
Bound sweet.
Bone sweet. Oh my god.
I got trick one.
It's a fairy type, but I think it's mixed with something. It's fairy, bone sweet. I think it's just plain fairy.
Nope.
Fake fan.
Fuck.
Damn.
Can I get
Fake
one more
fan,
chance?
Yeah, go for it.
It's a pre-evolution of something. I got to know what the evolution. It is fairy though. It's just not only fairy.
Nope. It's not fairy.
It's not fairy? What?
It's not fair. It's not even any fairy.
It's not fairy, Bonsweet? How do you spell the name?
Use it in a sentence.
Nah, I'm just trying to make sure that it has
Bounsweet.
I guess it's a grass type.
It is a grass type. You don't get credit for that one though.
That's fine. You got me there. That's definitely one of the newer ones.
All right, we'll do one more. Just
okay.
Let me see if I find one. I'm trying to find not a fucking obvious one.
Bonsweet. Why don't I remember that one? The grass type for real?
Choodle? How about that?
Oh, he's a see, this is tough. Cause I know what type. All right. Cause I know what type it app is definitely it's definitely water type. I don't know if it's it's just water. It's just water.
Damn. All right, you got me.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Its evolution is water and rock though. Turtonator or some shit like that, or
yeah. All right. Well, we'll do more of these, to be honest. You better step your game up. You better really know, because I'm going to find an embarrassing sound drop to hit you with. Damn, I can't believe you missed that on Bonsweet.
Bonsweet? Oh, this little motherfucker, it is a grass type. It turns into, its evolution is Serena. Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. I know it's evolution. I knew it was like fairy or grass.
Well, how's your One Piece journey? How many of
those Brian would have got right?
Brian would have got every single one right because Brian knows ball.
I guess I'll get into my updates real quick for One Piece. I don't really have that much to say. They're in Elbaf now. That's it. They're in Elbaf. But I will say this. There are a lot of things I'm noticing. Or, all right, maybe noticing is not the right word. But there's a lot more things I'm taking a bit more to heart, a little bit more seriously, like on this reread. And one of the things was like, with the context of Harold's backstory, when they introduced the school and all of the kids were like really soft and like Luffy and Usopp are kind of like disappointed. For me, it hit a little different because it's like, damn, like this is because even like before we knew about the flashback, I felt like I agreed. It's like, yeah, you guys can't just fucking go around and violating people. And even if you could, you're not going to be the strongest forever. Eventually, some motherfuckers going, some other race or the humans are going to get strong enough to suppress y'all motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They was eventually gonna like shit was gonna hit the fan. So I agreed with that already, but just understand that this was somebody's legacy, you know, and it was a legacy built off of real experiences and you know, genuine care. So it was nicer. It was nicer to see that, and it's funny because I feel like I have much more of a respect for the new LBAF culture now.
Mm.
You know, or like I have a respect for how the rest of the Giants have kind of just accepted this new way of life. You don't hear them bitching and complaining about the kids and nothing like that. Not yet, anyway. It hasn't really gotten to
at
that
all.
point. They're not like, oh man, these new kids, they're so fucking soft and all they care about is
Yeah.
and they're not. No one's like that, and I don't know if like it's just a matter of time. But I don't know
Not
if you
even a
guys
little.
like, yeah,
Like everybody's just like kind of, even in the flashback, nobody's really opposed anything.
and I think it's because King Harold was one of the greasiest niggas ever. So imagine telling him you're soft. All they could do is talk shit in the background, like, "Oh, our traditions." That's all they could. And I need a lighter.
Yeah.
I'll wait a second. I don't really have that much more to say. I don't know if you guys have any like thoughts, like, or any questions for me, like. But when I say questions, I don't mean quiz. I mean, if you want to quiz me,
yeah.
But I just generally mean like if you guys have anything you want to reminisce about, or like if there was something you don't remember, you want to ask anything, because we're getting pretty close. I mean, getting really close. So there has to be something.
You're getting very close to catching up.
I mean, I'm literally like 30 chapters away or so.
Yeah, it is interesting when you reread One Piece and you get like, especially like a recent arc like this, where, you know, when we do this show and we're like talking about the chapters, it's very like, you know, we're very stuck in the present. They're very much time capsules, and then you look back with all the knowledge, and it's like, that's why like you gotta like read One Piece again, because there's it's almost a whole different experience.
You know, going back,
reading with hindsight, it's actually kind of wild. It's like its own new experience in a way.
It's crazy because One Piece. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, you go. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, One Piece is one of those few series. You know how like you're jealous of somebody that hasn't seen anything, like something that you really love for the first time, and it's like, man, I'd give anything to be able to play like Zelda Majora's Mask for the first time again, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, have that experience. One Piece is one of those few things where it's like, yo, go relive it, and it's not going to be the same. It's going to be different, and it might even be better.
Yeah, I think it's better the second
time. It is. This reread for me has been so enjoyable. I mean, I've already was a One Piece glazer, but my reread has made me less boisterous and just way more confident that like I don't want to hear anyone's opinion about someone trying to say that One Piece is mediocre. If you want to say it's not the best because there's another series you like a lot more, that's fine. We're all entitled to our belief. But I'm not taking anybody serious that has actual slander for the series. Like, there's nothing constructive you can say in a negative way, in my opinion. That's like that you wouldn't be ignoring the context of what it means to make a series week to week.
Yeah.
You know,
I think like the big thing about One Piece is that like when you're reading it for the first time, the focus is more to catch up than to really absorb the story in any way. And when you read it for a second time, that like pressure's gone. So you're just kind of like reading it.
You're right. You know how much stuff I skipped? Bro, and not like, and just to be clear, like I read every page, but I'm telling you, there was pages full of text that I knew people were just kind of like conversating, and I'm scrolling. I'm looking like, oh, okay. I'm scrolling. I read every fucking thing this time around, bro. You have to. You can't. Like, do you know how many people are One Piece fans go create like they glaze the series and all they ever did was watch the anime one time. They have no fucking clue, like the wealth of information they need to like, and you just can't get that from a YouTube video. You know, you can't get that from Grand Line Review or whatever other channels that are out there. You know what I'm saying? You just can't.
Yeah. The moral of the story is
experience. Read One Piece and read the manga, guys. Read One Piece, guys.
I seriously, the manga is the best experience by far. I'm watching it, which is good. Like the anime is great for what it is. I mean, I'm in the portion of the story where they get into some serious pacing issues because they at this point they're like starting to catch up, and I'm at like they're about to get into Impel Down, is where I'm at, and they did spend like whole episodes on like where the crew is and their little adventures on there, which was, I guess, cool in a sense.
Okay.
That was definitely like elongated for
that's good
filler. That's good filler. I think One Piece does that better nowadays, where a lot of them is just extending fights that were kind of shortened in the manga just for time's sake. Because, yeah, I definitely think reading it is better canon wise because a lot of the anime, especially early on, is kind of different. And yeah, you're just reading it from the source. I also think it's a faster way to consume One Piece, believe it or not.
Well, for me, yeah, it's that's why I say it's like the best way, because you get to combine the speed that you can't get with the anime with also a very comprehensive understanding.
Yeah.
Of like this, you know what I mean? That you can actually pause, not like a video, but you can actually stop your eyes from reading the next page and go and just like, wait, what did they just say?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like a couple pages, and you're just way less inclined to do that in anime unless you're not paying attention.
But yeah, let's start One Piece. So One Piece is on break today, so this is our chance to talk about it. But was that all you wanted to talk about One Piece, Josh?
Yeah, I guess. I feel like there was a question I had about One Piece, about the future, but maybe it'll come back to me.
What future?
It's
like
not that serious. If I can't.
Series?
No, just like a prediction. Like I was going to ask if y'all thought about something, but I could be making this up.
Yeah. I don't really have an update with my tier list. I'm putting it on screen just for posterity, this to see where we're all at. Everything's, I guess.
Are you telling me there's no Gonron egg movement?
No Gonron egg movement. I still haven't read me and Roboco. So honestly, the most recent chapter had me still just like, yeah, it hasn't moved. There was like a moment before the last couple of chapters where I'm like, there's some movement, but then like, no. It's very generic. I don't know. I'm sorry. I feel bad being critical about something someone worked really hard on. But Josh is dead, I guess. I guess I killed Josh.
Not everything could be DZ, okay?
And I can't believe you're caping so hard for this series.
It's a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I mean,
I've only read the first 2 chapters. It looked cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the name, bro.
Yeah. Instead of like, I guess, movement, because there's no movement. I'm reading New Year's Exorcist right now. I'm in a block of that. I'm almost done with it, and I think it's kind of gonna stay where it is right now. It's good. It has the potential to go up to B, but it's still not quite there yet. But
is Naruto an S rank series?
We talked about this.
Did we talk about Naruto?
I don't think I ever gave a definitive answer, to be fair, but
you don't have to answer that right.
Maybe I'll do an all jump list.
Yeah, we'll make it a New Jump City combined effort.
Yeah, we'll do a whole New Jump City combined effort thing. I'm looking at the rankings now just because I keep tabs on this in the event that like one of these things gets canceled and I probably don't even have to read it anymore. Harukaze Mound, it's not looking good. It's constantly last.
What does Harukaze even mean?
I don't know. We could look that up, I guess.
No, it's very genuine. It's a very genuine response. You didn't try to pull anything out your ass.
Harukaze means spring breeze or spring wind. So
we talked about this too. Oh God, I gotta stop smoking weed.
Spring breeze mound.
We definitely talked about this.
I don't remember talking about this. So, yeah, that's probably gonna be gone soon. Oter of the Flame is second to last, which is not looking great.
But it's better than Ganran.
Ganran is 14th out of 20. It's floating around the lower ends of things. You know,
is there a series that deserves an F rank that you've ever read?
That it deserves what?
But tell me first. F, but tell me what's at the top first. And no. Let me guess. Out of all these series here, right?
Out of every series here. What do you mean? What was your question? I know.
I kind of been. No. Oh, you said you want to know what's at the top. So I'm trying to figure out. But I had a question. I forgot what it was actually.
You said something about an F?
Oh yeah, like is there a series you've ever read that you would get put in the F tier?
Yeah,
there for formality.
So.
To not make
I have it for formality because F is for formality. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like F is such a low ranking that it's like this thing shouldn't even exist.
Ooh.
You know, it's harmful actively. And I wouldn't put Ganran Egg there. That's why. But yeah, this is my tier list right now. It's fine. Maybe Nue's Exorcist will surprise me in the last 4 chapters I have to read of it.
Really, are you gonna do a monthlies tier list, Chris?
We don't read that many monthlies. You know,
I've been reading a lot of the monthlies actually.
Well, why don't you do a monthlies tier list?
Which ones are monthlies?
World Trigger, Blue Exorcist,
The Martial King.
Well, you know, if you're gonna do a monthlies one, you have to read all the monthlies.
I read Gokurakugai or whatever.
Yeah, you just want to put that out.
Series?
You want to make a tier list of Gokuragai and S.
It's pretty sick.
Well, you should make it. You should read all the monthlies and do a monthly tier list.
I'll be doing that then.
Sick. Before we do the actual show real fast, how about them boys?
All right, let's talk about it. Cowboys got embarrassed at home on national television. And I want to be clear, embarrassed. So this is what happened, Chris. I was not planning. It's not that I wasn't planning on watching the game, but I didn't care that much about it. I I'm gonna be for real. Like, I don't expect the Eagles to lose like to the Commanders or the Giants. You know, they might lose to
the Bills.
Who do they got to play? There's another team they got to.
The Chargers.
Oh, no, the Bills. I think they got to play the Bills. So they'll probably lose to the Bills. Oh yeah, but even if we won out, like we would have had to hope that Philly would have lost, and like, man, that's just not a way to go into the playoffs and expect to actually win a Super Bowl or nothing like that. All we would have heard was the same tired, Dak lost in the playoffs, blah blah blah. Whatever, man. Let's finish the season. We'll get an okay draft pick, and we got a nice core. I ain't mad about it. But to talk about the game, this is what happened. I wasn't watching it. I was on Rivals, you know. And then Chris said the defense got an interception, and I could not resist. I had to turn the game on after that. I put that shit on my phone on the side while I was playing. And, like, I was just getting really annoyed. Brandon Aubrey, he's been missing some kicks, man. He's been missing some. He's been getting inconsistent, and I was really getting scared of this. But it's like, yo, they lean on him so much for these really long kicks. And it's like, that's not something to hang your hat on. The defense held us at a point where we had to make our kicker make miraculous plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not okay. That's not something that we should hold a standard to him for. And I hope his confidence isn't rocked, but I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Your GOAT.
Also,
that video you sent me, it's like,
yeah, right.
Your GOAT.
And then what else? The game before this one that we played against the Lions, Brandon Aubrey made a fucking tackle And I didn't like that shit, man. Your kicker ain't supposed to be tackling nobody, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need him to stay good. And I'm not gonna hold you, yo. I think like that shit hurt him or rattled him in a way that he's kind of like he might be scared to take contact. He wasn't a football player. Well, he played football. I think it was a soccer player. So, we'll see. I ain't gonna hold you though.
Oh,
when it comes to kickers, yo, once they lose that like confidence, it's a wrap. So
yeah, for real.
I'm pretty sure he'll be on the roster next year too. And but if he shows inconsistency next season, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. I don't give a fuck how good he was for how many years.
Yeah, that's how it be with kickers.
Yeah, that's just it was 100% a confidence thing.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't. The Cowboys game was the only game I watched. I was out all day, so I didn't get to see. Apparently, like Phillip Rivers knocked it out of the fucking park.
No, he didn't.
Apparently, you hear the internet tell it. No, did they lose? They did not lose.
Yeah,
they're not doing all of this. So no.
Wait, they beat the Seahawks? No way.
Yeah. Bullis, Colts.
I beat the Seahawks.
You did not beat the Seahawks, Brian.
By myself.
It's close.
No, the Seahawks won. They won with a last-minute field goal. So the people was this. So you telling me they're glazing this dude for scoring 16 points in a game you had to have?
Say again?
He's 44 years old.
Sorry,
just came back.
My internet crashed out. Sorry. Could you say that again?
No, I was just saying, like people actually glazing this guy for scoring 16 points.
That's what I heard.
In like a must-win game that they didn't win.
I heard this headline that Stephen A. Smith apologizes to Phillip Rivers. And I thought he won all this fanfare.
I figured he'd be apologizing. He's like, you know what? I said a lot of mean things and you went out there and got fucked up. And now I feel bad about those mean things because,
I shouldn't have said all those mean things.
Yeah. Now that I see like how bad it was, I don't know. I guess he did okay. I'm about to look at the stats now.
Yeah, I was literally looking that up just now. Phillip Rivers.
I mean, he had a calm game. 18 for 27, 120 yards,
an interception.
A touchdown, an interception. I mean,
67.
Took one sack. He had a decent game for coming back after being out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. That's all the football I know of this week. Next week in the pre-show chat show, we'll talk more about it. But I suppose we can get the show started. Ready, boys?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. My bad. I used the wrong sound.
The world becomes my gun.
World Trigger, everybody. This was World Trigger, chapter 259, the away mission test, phase 2, part 2. We open up with a sick 2-page color spread of all the A-rank captains. Let's go. Let's get into it. Hell yeah. The chapter starts with, where we left off. Everybody has been transported to the battle map, and the battle phase of the exams have begun. Kodera, they talked over some battle plans. There's going to be a rendezvous between certain members, certain teams going to the front lines to protect the closest terminals to the A-rank squads. And we're cutting back to that as everybody's getting ready for battle. Kodera asks everybody to send him a compiled list of the Tryon soldiers that they have. Kodera actually is just like, hey, for everybody who has A-rank experience, I can't be positive, but is this our map? And it turns out that they are currently on the map that is used for the A-rank wars.
Yeah, all right. I can't help myself, but I could have swore we was all having a conversation, and one of us was like, "Oh, there's probably no rank wars for the A rank like they
No.
did. You know,
We
like,
did talk about this, I think.
We did talk about
somebody said that. Who said that?
That's not what I
I think
said.
it was. All right, I feel like you would say that, but go ahead.
I feel like this is
do
being
you remember what it
misconstrued. I
was?
did not say.
No. I'm giving you the opportunity
said-
to
I said that there will probably be no A rank wars between the main cast and now. There, not that there are no A rank wars at all, but narratively, we probably won't see.
We're probably not going to see that.
We're probably not going to get A rank war.
Yeah, this is probably going to be our consolation for that.
Yeah.
Is playing on the A rank map.
That's fair. I can agree also that narratively it would be redundant to have A rank wars, although
it would be six.
Complaining.
It would be six.
Sure
so sick.
Yeah. So anyway, my bad.
Anyway, yeah. But they're on the A rank war map. Not just the A rank war map. They have the entirety of the A rank war map. Usually, it seems to be split up, kind of similarly to, I guess, the B rank wars, where they don't get the whole town for A rank wars. But now it's all combined on this map. So Kodera asked everybody with A rank agents to help out and use their knowledge, share their knowledge with people who have never been on this map before, on their own teams. While Kodera is going to keep the teams that don't have any A rank agents at all informed himself. That's pretty cool. We get Squad 1 rendezvousing with Squad 2. Squad 9 reaches up with T5, which is Terminal 5. And, things are moving over. Everybody's meeting up. We see that Suwa's squad has finally met up with Squad 3. Oki decides to go up. All right, this is Oki. Am I bugging? Yeah,
Oki is this grasshopper sniper.
Right. Oki goes up to scope out the area, and everybody's stalking out the river, but Kakizaki and Fujimaru, who is the operator for his squad, is there. The operator for Suwa's squad has been timing their run over to the terminal, and she mentions that it took them like a little over 2 minutes to get there. So they're basically measuring how long it would take to just like jet over to a terminal whenever there's trouble.
To peel.
Yeah, to peel. And they're trying to figure out, like, I guess it would take 3 minutes, but that's just like one person. It would take a while if it was just all of us. We see Betsuyaku here. He jumps down from a building, and he explains that he created a bunch of Hound Tryon soldiers specifically for mobility. And I'm truncating that just because, I don't want to like go page by page because this is a longer chapter.
Yeah.
But basically, he made these hounds so that people can go from terminal to terminal quickly, or even for operators to escape on them, being as that they're probably not very fast. And he made enough for everybody, it seems, which is nice. You go through not everybody literally, but every squad, it seems. Every squad gets one. And it seems that, we lay out the rules for how these Tryon soldiers kind of work. You can communicate with them with your thoughts if you're touching them, or you can use like that internal channel that they have to communicate with them. And really, the operator the operator of the team that summons it is in charge, or whoever's currently touching it can be the one in charge of the Tryon soldier. So yeah, hell yeah. Osamu's like, whoa, what a cool strategy. I'm impressed. And Osamu talks about Osamu talks about how he felt bad that he doesn't have anything to give in return. And the operator's like, well, let's just get Suwa caught up to speed. And Ikoma pops up out of nowhere and is like, sounds like a solid plan. And they're like, wait, why are you here? He's like, I'm here for food handouts. He has both his hands out like this. So he's just there for food. So yeah, they explain it to Suwa, and at that point, Arifune pings everybody and tells everybody that, hey, I've got movement from the A rankers. It looks like it's possibly Tachikawa squad, which is bad news, no bueno. We see that they look back at the radar, and it looks like most of the A rankers have not moved from the terminals yet until just suddenly one starts moving very quickly from one terminal to the next. And they're like, holy shit, what is this? Is that
Oh
like
my god.
is this Fuyushima's warping? And it's like, no, it wouldn't make sense for that distance. It's too far, I suppose. Tamakoma also zooms past into another terminal, and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? How are they doing that? And we cut to exactly how they're doing that. Apparently, there's a Tryon soldier that is just yeeting them across like entire towns, which is very funny. We see that in Kako Squad, where a few of them just get chucked over. And yeah, they're basically, that's how they're getting around, it seems. They're like, whoa, we could make Kako is like, wow, we could make money out of this. It's like, this way would kill us if we weren't in Tryon bodies right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, the I think this is the operator for the Kako squad, and she's like, I'll make my way to your position without leaving the ground. So yeah. So everybody on the B rank squad team is like freaking out because they're like, how are they fucking moving? They're all grouping together at blinding speeds. And it seems that the squads from A8 and A5 are the only ones that are not planning to storm the side of the river. So Caldera makes a change in plans. He says the squads 1 and 2 are to proceed as planned, but everybody else drop everything and rendezvous at squad 5's position. Squad 5 and 9 keep an eye out on the enemy, and once our opponents cross the bridge, abandon terminal 5 and fucking prioritize grouping up with everybody. So yeah, Cordera's like, damn, I don't know how they're moving so fast, but given how soon we all reach the front of the line, we're not lagging behind too much. Did they observe our movement and decide on a rapid, concentrated attack? I have to wonder who's taking command on the other side. And it turns out the commander for the A rank squad in general is Arashiyama from Squad 5, A rank number 5.
All-rounder.
The all-rounder, the PR.
Jack of all trades.
Captain PR. I love him. So yeah, the A rank squads have managed to cross the bridge. Arashiyama gives the order to Tachikawa to get the party started. So, that's pretty cruel, sicking your strongest guy on them immediately. But yeah, everybody's like, holy shit, it's time to abandon T5 and group up, like Hodera said. So they're planning on meeting up with squads 4, 5, 8, 9, and 3 and 7. Inikoma's like, squad 6 and 10 could also join up if they give up on T4, yeah? And I'm like, yeah, true. Wait, Ikoma, what are you doing here? And Katori is also there, by the way. And yeah, Ikoma again is just like, food handouts, please. And Kodera seems to be there just genuinely to help, I guess. But that is actually where the chapter ends. Hoo-wee, Josh, what did you think about World Trigger chapter 259?
Yeah, I've been trying to I don't know why, but I was trying to temper my expectations because we've been waiting so long for a fighting arc that I'm I don't want to put all of this heavy yeah, it's definitely gonna be this and that. But bro, there's a reason we love World Trigger, and even from just this starting chapter, my mind was going so many different places. First of all, clearly this is a diversion, they're putting pressure on Tamakoma. I mean, on the, let's just say the agents,
the B rank team, quote unquote.
Yeah, the testees. Yeah. Yeah, they're putting mad pressure on them to see how they're gonna react. Like they're gonna be getting they're gonna get played like a fiddle, basically,
Mhm.
is what I think, until they start to
Unless
grab back
Osamu,
momentum.
unless Osamu's like, we're getting played.
Mm.
Yeah, Osama's gonna be like, wait, why would they do this? Why would
I definitely think that they're gonna like, lose something first. I do think the testes are gonna lose something first. I don't think that's like a hot take or anything, but and then we're gonna see how they respond. But I gotta say this, man. Now that I've played a hero shooter for so long, World Trigger absolutely can be a hero shooter style game. And if they ever created something like that, we have to be on that. Like Chris,
yeah,
no bullshit.
I would
You know
go
what I
on.
mean? Like,
unless I have to buy a PS5 for it, because then I'd be out of luck a little bit.
well, we'd figure that shit out, bro. We would figure that shit out.
I was starting a GoFundMe. Help this poor boy get a PlayStation 5.
Oh my god, this would be so fire. And I guess this kind of leads me into the question I mostly had for like Brian. I know you probably have your thoughts for this chapter, but I want to know, do you, as you was rereading or even like beginning to, like going through World Trigger on the first read, I know you had played Overwatch you played like hero shooters for years now. Like Overwatch came out what, like 2016, 2018, something like that.
It's probably earlier.
Right.
Probably,
Well, but you've been playing hero shooters for well over 5 years, right? I mean, you're a true veteran.
yeah.
When it comes to the genre. So, like,
2016.
does your brain ever, huh?
It came out in 2016.
Wow. So, like, yeah, like, do you ever imagine these fights in like hero shooter scenarios or that type of terminology? Like, do you find yourself doing that? Like, noticing, like, oh, like this guy's in this role, or this guy's doing this specific tactic, this guy's flanking. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever like interpret the series that way? And which ways do you?
It's definitely esports coded, that's for sure. But I don't know if I would say it's a hero shooter. Because I feel like with hero shooters, it feels like there's just always some shit going on at all times. You know what I mean? Like there's in World Trigger, there's like paces, like there's little things that are breaking out throughout the map, and very rarely are there like all out fucking slugfests like there are in hero shooters. So I'd say there are some
fights
elements
do devolve into that.
yeah
sometimes.
sometimes, but in hero shooters
I would argue
that's all the time.
I would argue every single rank war has a handful of those moments, both
not all of them,
micro and macro.
Like, but my point is that like,
all right, go ahead. I was gonna ask Chris something, but go ahead.
I was gonna say like
I was gonna
my
see,
point.
Like, what he thought.
My point is that there's like with hero shooters, it's always like a kind of like a go situation. There's not a lot of lulls like for moments like that, you know what I mean? But in World Trigger, there are a lot of lulls. There is a lot of like, chaos at times, but mostly everything is pretty well thought of. In hero shooters, it's too chaotic at all times. You know what I mean? It's just to leave room for strategy like the way they do in World Trigger. So
what I'm thinking about, the game that's coming to my mind now, or like the style, is maybe like pub shooters, like a Fortnite, where there is a lot of action and then there's a lot of non-action, like in between, when you're looking for people or like trying to like get materials or whatever and stuff. I just like, what style of game do you think would fit World Trigger the best if they was to make it? You think a hero shooter would not be the right way, even if they try to make it like with more stealth elements or whatever?
And this might be a hot take, but I feel like this series would be really good for like a top-down strategy kind of game, kind of like XCOM.
almost like they was playing during the test.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of similar to the
test.
test. Like you get action points, and then you position your agents throughout the field and do stuff like that. Because I personally, XCOM 2 is my favorite game of all time. I love XCOM 2, and whenever I play XCOM, I'm like, damn, World Trigger would be so fucking fire with this shit, or like a real time strategy game like World Trigger game 2. I think that would be great. But the thing about World Trigger is that it could fit so many molds. Like I could see it being a hero shooter. I could see it being like a strategy, like a what's it called? What's the word? Like Counter-Strike or Valorant or Rainbow Six. I could see it being like that too. It can fit so many molds. You know what I mean? It's like very conducive, but it has to be like a strategy or a competitive game. Honestly, it has to be. I would hate it if it was like a Naruto Storm kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't love it to be like an arena fighter, like one-on-one.
That would be the worst outcome for me.
Yeah. That's why I thought hero shoot was like one of the first things that came to my mind, because you have to select characters and then work together one way or another. But all right, yeah, that was cool. I was wondering what you thought about that. I don't know if I really have any. I mean, there's a lot I guess I could say about the chapter in general, but I really am curious on your thoughts, and I'll probably bounce off of that. So, Brian, what were your thoughts on the chapter?
RGC.
Oh, that's surprising.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Already, this chapter has paid off for all of the homework chapters that existed before it. Just, man, it just feels like this chapter is the ultimate payoff to all of the buildup that we have had for all, like, the entirety of this series, with all the characters, this extremely large and vast cast of characters. We're finally able to reap the full benefits of this, because there's so many of them that are involved in this battle. You know what I mean? Like seeing characters like Betsuyaku pull up and you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. And for them to like evolve and show different sides of themselves that not even just we have seen, but characters have seen. Like characters themselves are like, oh wow, I didn't know you were like that. I didn't know you had this kind of quality in you. Like it's so expertly done. Everybody is subject to growth in such unique ways. Like you don't even see it coming. You know what I mean? Like the growth that some characters get. So this chapter just puts it all on full blast. One thing that I would like to talk about is Arashiyama being picked for the Squad A commander. And were any of you surprised by this?
You know what's funny? I don't know if I was surprised. It's cool to see. I didn't expect it. But, you know, the reason I think they mentioned early on, and Brian, you read it more recently, so you could probably like correct me on this. But I think like they mentioned that the only reason like Arashiyama squad is like stuck on A5, but only because they fill like a purpose outside of their combat. They're like the PR squad for.
Yeah, that's true. They did say
like, but which implies that if they weren't like that, if they didn't have that kind of arrangement, they'd probably be higher. And I feel like Arashiyama is low key like he's probably like a really sleeper.
You think they'd be higher?
Yeah.
Oh, I always assumed that they were propped up more than they probably should have been because of the PR.
No, they're propped up. They're there at A5 because that's their kind of like, I guess they have another function. But I don't know how high they'd go, but I feel like I remember them being a big deal when like Jin was in trouble and they're the ones who showed up and they did their thing. And they fought against like higher A rank squads than them. So like, you know, I think there's like a secret that like they're kind of like sleeper, like dark horse fighters, you know?
Well, I'm here to tell you they are not actually.
Okay, never mind.
Because when I was rereading World Trigger,
all right, never mind.
During the invasions, there was always a team that was present and always had a leadership role in like the defending forces, and it was always Arashiyama. Arashiyama was always a leading figure in the invasion stuff. Like he was always out there commanding people where to go, how things are gonna like be kind of allocated and stuff. So when I saw him here, I was like, oh shit. So he really is that guy. Because like he was always kind of present, but you didn't know to what capacity how good he was. But this kind of like sealed the deal. Like Arashiyama is actually probably the future mind of this of Border. You know what I mean? Like the future, like he would be like where Shinoda is right now, in my opinion.
Let's see.
There's a reason why they put him in charge, you know? And this guy, he just, and it's so nice because it comes full circle. The last test that Tamakoma need to get through to go to the away mission is the first squad that they met in the first place. So it's just, man, it just ties everything together so perfectly. It's going to be so poetic to see, like, I don't know, Osamu do something to win the thing, and then Arashiyama's like, good job, kid, or something, like pass the torch for him to go on.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
But one more thing before I finish my thoughts. I literally could not contain my smile when I saw how the A rank agents were fucking like using the Tryon soldiers. I was like, damn, that's so sick.
Right.
But that's it. Those are my thoughts.
Yo, I love this chapter too. I don't know, man. This is tough. This was a tough week for me in terms of RGC. You know, I feel like we say that a lot, but you know, the chapters have been knocking it out of the park lately. And I guess that's just us being like hyper positive. But I really do love like the stuff we're reading these days. And World Trigger, there's just like a warmth to it. I feel like we have such a history with this series. It's technically like besides One Piece, it's probably like the oldest series that we've been covering. And it's the longest one we've been around. So, you know, just getting to see all these characters in action, in actual like action again, is just like there's a weird level of nostalgia to it, you know? I thought, yeah, like Brian said, the way they're getting around is so cool, and it really highlights how like creative and diverse in thought like all of these characters are, you know? The way they just like kind of think outside of the box is very fun to read, because you think like of course they're A rank agents, they just kind of like figure out a cool like smart way to just move around, but it's literally they have a Yeet soldier that just like throws them around. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I can't wait to see what the A rank strategy is, because now they have just the B rank agents on the back foot, and there's no slouches on that team either. So, you know, I'm excited to see it. Plus, Ikoma making an appearance in the chapter is always a plus for me. I hope he gets to do a cool thing. He does like the whirlwind in exchange for food. But yeah, I don't really have much thoughts. I just thought this was like so fun. I love reading World Trigger so much. I can't wait to do a reread myself. You know, it's about that time. It's going to be that time.
I think that's next.
Yeah.
I watched the anime. And I just feel like that's not enough. I got to reread it again.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. But that's it for me. Yeah. That's it for me. Any other thoughts? Oh, Josh. Yeah. Do we have any thoughts before we move on? Sorry.
Yeah, who's gonna have the highest body count?
Kuga.
What if Tachikawa just gets Kuga first?
I think Kako is gonna have the highest body count. I think she's gonna start wilding the fuck out on him.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Tachikawa might get carried away in the fun and like get caught slipping. You know, but she's probably gonna just blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Her and Ninomiya gotta like face off.
Her bullets, I'm like, what are those? What's so special about her cool fucking circle bullets?
Yeah, it's some scary stuff. Not something I would want to have to fight against. Them A rank, their fellow A rank squad mates, they better put them all in the game and let them know. Is Katora in the
Katora is an A rank. She's on the B rank squad.
On the B rank side. She's a tester, right? I mean, she's a testee, right?
Yeah, she's one of the examinees. Yes.
She better tell him everything. She has to
well, there's a couple of A rank agents on the other side too. You know, Kodera is there. Azuma.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They need to tell him everything.
Kuchihara's there.
She has these bullets.
I just realized that two of the third rank. His name's Soya, right? Soya Squad. Am I bugging?
I don't know, bro.
Brian
Squad.
The third rank, the A rank number 3 team.
Isn't A rank number 3?
Yeah, Soya, right?
I'm looking into this.
Yeah, it is Soya. Kazama. Soya is his first name.
Oh, I was confused. I was like, that's got to be Kazama, right? But
yeah, Kazama. 2 of his squad mates are on the B rank squad.
Yeah, and Arashiyama doesn't have Kitora.
Yeah. So that's fun. But anyway, all right. Should we move on to the next one, or do you have any final things?
Ready to go.
Let's go then. Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days, chapter 241, Generous Serving. Last we left off, Sakamoto is back and fatter than ever. Very excited about that. So yeah, it's not looking good for our bad guys here. Everybody's looking on like, oh, hell yeah, our boy's back. And we get a cool like 2-page spread where he does his signature like shoulder crack thing that he used to do when he was getting ready to be serious. He looks over to his family and he says, I'm sorry for I put you all this. And they were like, we were fine because Shin and everyone protected us. You should thank them later too, Papa. And then Sakamoto's like, thank you. I hope you're all okay. And then Torres comes by and starts talking that good shit. He was like, Sakamoto, you didn't forget, did you? We already creamed you once.
Listen, man.
He said, throwing one more fatso into the mix won't make any difference. And then he looks over to him and he gets all scary. He's like, Torres, do you know why I'm fat? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? He says, I'll tell you why. And he punches him like through a building. And they tell him to... And Sakamoto goes, I'll be back soon. Please wait where it's safe. Torres is like, damn, using violence in front of your wife and kid? What kind of father does that? And now Torres is thinking to himself, like, what the fuck? He's fat now. And he was dying not so long ago. How is he so strong? And Sakamoto
Those are legitimate questions.
Yeah. What the hell? And he's like, sometimes you got to fight to protect what's precious to you. That's our parenting philosophy, and it's none of your concern. And then Torres like flips off his jacket and brings back his sandblasters, and he's like, let's see if you can protect them then. Sakamoto dodges his attacks pretty easily. And then he goes back to like this claw game machine, and he grabs one, grabs a toy, he spins it around, and then he just like shoots it forward so fast that somehow it breaks through the glass and and knocks Torres right in the face. Torres tries to counter with a sandblaster thing, but Sakamoto punches the sandblaster so hard that the muzzle just kind of like contracts into itself and sends him flying. And then Torres lands inside of a photo booth where he accidentally selects pretty mode in the photo booth, and we get this very funny couple of panels where we get a picture of them while Sakamoto and Torres have like pretty girl filters on their faces as they're beating the shit out of each other. And Torres is like, "When did he get this strong?" And Sakamoto punches him so really hard into a punch game machine thing, and the numbers are going up, as Torres is sitting there. And Sakamoto explains that, like, he says, "I'm grateful, Torres. You and Akawa opened my eyes. I know what my strength is now." He says, the time I've spent living in this town and my experience here are my greatest weapons now." And it's at that point that that little game machine flips to 777, and at that point, Torres is like, "Triple sevens, huh? My lucky day, and everything sucks." They get at each other for one last clash. Sakamoto knocking Torres out, and Sakamoto ends the chapter by being like, "Oh right, the reason I'm fat." And Torres is like, "Don't worry, I already know. I had dinner at your place. It was delicious. Anybody would get fat." And Sakamoto tells him to come again anytime. And that is where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Sakamoto Days, chapter 241?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I missed this. Even though this is what he was doing since the beginning of the series, this is why I like the series. I like Sakamoto wilding out on these people, easy mode style with common everyday items. Doesn't get better than that. I mean, I still think one of the best chapters of the entire series was when he was fighting the moose, the robot moose guy. I mean, gave that nigga business, yo.
Yeah. I love
It's crazy.
that page when they're on the train, that full page spread where he's just beating the shit out of him in the train car. There's the old lady just sitting there. It's like one of my favorite pages ever.
When they get in the elevator. Anyway. I don't know, what is there to say? Torres, he was a server admin, right? As they say, as the kids say. He was a problem. He was a boss he was a wall that Sakamoto ran into, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I love my family. And I love the food that my wife makes." And then he remembered how to beat Torres' ass. No one's gonna stop him. It's GG's. It's been a very fun series.
Yeah, he's unstoppable now.
Yeah,
we call that easy money, GG.
He tried. Torres really tried, but what was he supposed to do? I mean, he picked up a toy. Mind you, the box had a plushie inside. So he spun it at such a velocity to break the glass and knock the fuck out with what was essentially all of 4 pounds. Actually, all you need is like 6 pounds of force to knock somebody out.
That's true.
Then he hit his weapon. He destroyed his weapon like twice. You're done, bro. You're done. You had the cute filter on you and you got fucked up. They wasn't even fighting. He just was getting washed.
Oh yeah.
I punched him one time, then he got uppercutted. Both pictures. He said, "Unbelievable." I would have thought so right after that too.
I'm getting washed right now.
He knew it was over. He got put in that tight space, and like he was aware enough to react to what was happening to him, but didn't have the wherewithal to defend himself from getting knocked into that punching machine right after the incident inside the photo booth. if this is just the beginning, I actually feel bad for the rest of these order members. I think he just needs to hurry up and find this X guy and just he needs this happen to him. Like he needs to do this to him for like 2 chapters straight.
Mm-hmm. I would be okay with that.
One-sided. Yeah. Of him using everything within like the next couple blocks to just beat all the personalities out of him and everything. That sounds so ableist, but it's Sakamoto, bro.
What's those all your thoughts?
I guess so. Before I say anything else and get this fucking podcast
it's
on
all
TikTok
right
for the worst reasons.
Oh, you know, any press is good press at this point. I'll take it.
Not everything, but anyway. Brian, what'd you think about this chapter?
Pretty good chapter. The action was pretty cool. Be seeing Fat Sakamoto in action again. It's pretty nice. We finally get the payoff to the Sandman's whole shtick when he visited Sakamoto's family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was honestly pretty wholesome ending for the fight between these two. All things considered, I never really sensed any animosity between Sakamoto and this guy anyway. So just to see them and like, oh yeah, you can pass by whatever you want, bro. But after I run this fade, but yeah, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I really love this chapter. You know, like it's like Josh said, Sakamoto hasn't not been doing what he's doing here, but there's like a distinct difference now. You know, like there's and it does tie into his like fat form. And there's like a certain like mundanity to the way he fought. He would just like fight with there's just shit around him, you know, like Skinny Sakamoto fights with, you know, the whole street signs, and he would just like take things that like are everyday items but are more weapon like. And you know, the fat Sakamoto would take like literally he takes a fucking toy, like a slot, like a little fucking crane game, and he spins it around. And it was just like the ridiculousness of using like even more ordinary day items than you think or even you know, is really what this series was found upon. It really felt like a we're back moment, you know. Like there was something I really like Sakamoto all the way through. I think like it hasn't really lost anything, but there was just like this little like there was like a heart missing a little bit with all the fights. Even though they were super cool and super well choreographed. Like this is what drew people to this series. So it's cool to get at the end back to like this circular narrative coming back to where we started and realizing like, yeah, this is what Sakamoto was the entire time. And he's been trying to run away from it because he thought it was a weaker version of himself, but it's actually the strongest version ever. The guy who could kill you with a toy. You know, it's kind of like that John Wick thing. It's like he killed 3 men with a pencil. Well, Sakamoto used a crane game to knock somebody out. So, you know, he beat a guy up with a cute filter on in a photo booth. You know,
yeah, John Wick wouldn't stand a fucking chance.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm excited. We didn't talk about this too much, but I don't know if you guys saw the live action Sakamoto Days movie that's coming.
No, I haven't.
I sent you guys the trailer.
Really?
I sent you
I thought that was a joke.
Oh no, it's real. Like they put together an actual Sakamoto Days live action movie. So that'll be exciting to see how that works out. But still, like, yeah, that's all my thoughts. I really love this chapter, and it was probably my second favorite of the week just because of the on principle, in a sense. This is like, yes, this is it. This is what the series is. So but that's all I have to say about it. Do we have anything else before we move on?
No, sir.
Alrighty, then let's go.
And give me a picnic in the car with me so I can chat.
Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm gonna pass this one over to Church.
Got caught at a pretty bad time.
Yeah,
because I'm greedily scarfing down some M&Ms. But this is Kagurabachi, chapter number 105. Name of the chapter is, wow, this is really turning into Bleach. The name of the chapter is Transformation. There is an alternate title. But like Bleach and Tite Kubo, I'm going to wait for that at the very end. Anyway, last week, Chihiro and Samura, they caught this nigga Yura with a crazy combo with the Phoenix burn healing. Damn it. He was getting healed so hard that it was hurting him.
Yeah.
And the point of the healing was to fight off the infection, so to speak, or the connection that he had with the Shinichi, because the nature of it was that it was infiltrating his body, so it was an ailment. But right as Yura was burning alive, he yelled out that he needed a hero, and it seemed like the actual master of the Shinichi, forgot his name already. Anybody?
Oh,
Akamura.
It says it here. Yeah, Akamura. I got it right the first time.
Akamura, the Shinichi sword master, seemed to be connecting with Yura. But now we are on this week. Samura felt like he had to jump in and do something because the flames wore off, and all of the Shinichi plants started to sprout over this man's body, and he felt like he really needed to do something about it. So he hits him with another fire attack, and as he's being launched through the air, somehow he feels the presence of Akamura. Very grim. It scares the shit out of Samura, and he jumps away from from Yura's burning body as he just limply falls through the building and lands on the floor like a corpse. Honestly,
yeah,
like a Family Guy character. Anyway, as Yura hit the ground, we see him metaphorically falling into an abyss, like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Into the chamber of sleep or something, whatever that
Whatever
is
that
called.
is.
Chamber of Awakening. Did I get it right?
I forget what it's called too.
I think it's Chamber of Awakening.
Sounds like something that would be in Kingdom Hearts.
A far off memory that's like a scattered dream. A scattered dream that's like a far off memory.
Yeah. You remember. You also did not have a memory card, did you, at first?
Me? No, I didn't have. I don't think we did. I think
so you had to keep playing the intro.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let me stay focused on this. Let me not pussyfoot around. This nigga's back.
He's back.
Yura gets up. But it's not Yura. It's Akamura. And he says, we own the Shinichi enchanted blade in a suit. That's just wrong. And he looks in. He happened to fall into a mall, and seen like an old Japanese style robe. Well, I don't know. Maybe they wear that shit like now.
Maybe it's probably common.
I don't really know, guys.
I don't know.
Let me know.
Yeah,
please.
Let me know in the comments.
Light on my
just
ignorance. Yeah. And Samura is shook, thinking that's definitely him. That's the guy that made the malediction. And he's so scared he allows him to change out of the clothes he was wearing and put on it. Unless he used magic to do it really fast. I guess I don't really know for sure. I really can't say with 100% accuracy. Yeah, I really can't.
He took the time to fold it up all nice too.
He did. That leads me to there's no way Samura would have let him do all of that. I don't want to believe that. Chihiro was downstairs. He didn't know what was going on. He gets a pass. There's no way Samura would have let that happen. Phoenix Rebirth, man himself. Come on. No way. So yeah, he used magic to instantly change it out of his clothes, fold them, and then also there's just no other way to put it but Aura Farm.
Yeah.
He decided to break the window with the tip of his finger and just levitate outside with the sword in front of him. It doesn't get cooler than this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately for our heroes. You know what I'm saying? And this is bad. This is actually really bad because Chihiro almost always has the swag edge, right? Almost always in this series. And like in the small handful of times I can think of, he didn't, he lost. He lost in the swag edge to Samura. When we found out he was evil and then like also blind, still blind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way he was moving, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Yeah, Chihiro could not match that. He had to start copying his whole style and learn something from his daughter. So get back to his back to the throne. And I respect Chihiro for that. I'm not knocking him.
True. He did do that.
You say, okay, so I'm gonna take your shit and make it better in mine. But none of that matters right now. None of that matters at all in this moment because Akamura is probably hitting the best aura farm of the entire series. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he's literally floating. That's crazy what he's doing right now. He's literally floating on air effortlessly.
What's crazy is that when I read this shit on the train and I seen this page, I knew I was going to spend at minimum 5 minutes just ranting about this picture.
It's so
I was going to allow everybody else the space to also. I mean, wow.
It's just so cool.
Nigga looks at Samura and says, long time no see. He's like,
whoa.
Yo, you healed your eyes, huh? You look cool.
Don't I look cool? Not cooler than me. I'm literally floating in my super cool robe.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, this is the trope that's not formally called. It's not the formal name for it, but this is the I'm not worried about you at all. So I'm going to speak to you as if it's a regular as conversation because you know that if you treat it as anything other than that, it's really bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trope that's going on right here. He might still survive, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. We get some more glazing from like the elders of the Kaminabi, and they're like, no ordinary human could have achieved such a feat. It is Samura, basically, though.
Samura remembers the glazing of another person.
Yeah, he's like, yo, like this nigga was not crazy. We all knew that for a fact. And part of the he starts breaking down like why he was even chosen for the Sanucci and just saying like, yo, he was a guy that was 100% in clarity at all times in his life, not just speaking of the malediction, but in general. He always probably always meant what he said. He stood on, what he cared about, had clear convictions. I mean, basically there's a reason Rokuhira entrusted him to have the strongest sword. That was not a coincidence or a mistake. You know, that there was a sword that was the strongest and that it was given to him. And so Akamura starts to talk to Samura, and he's like, you know, I was resigned to die down there. It's like when they imprisoned me after the malediction, I understood. It's unfortunate, but my existence in society's mainstream ethics are incompatible. But somebody had to venture where no one else dared, and the day I eradicated the enemy, I fulfilled my role, and that was enough. Or so I thought. No HP smart. I don't want to make a change to my laptop. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it fucking random pop up. Yeah. This guy has he's
in the world.
He's very collected. This nigga's like a world trigger villain. He's a neighbor. He has full reasoning. He's like, I know I bugged out. I know. I felt like I knew it was bugging out, and I knew that nobody else had like the strict. You know, I'll save that for my thoughts later. Whatever. Anyway, back to aura farming. So he says all of that. He says, I thought I fulfilled my role, or so I thought. As he says, Magatsumi activates his Bankai. No, not yet. What's the one before that?
The Zanpakuto.
Zanpakuto. He releases his Zanpakuto, Magatsumi, as he starts pulling the blade out the sheath, and the entire building he's on becomes imbued with black ink. Just black stuff. He says, I have one question I'm struggling to understand. Why did my brother seal away the enchanted blades? He looks down at Chihiro, who's holding his sword, very fucking, and he's focused, but I know he's nervous. He's like, oh, so that's the answer. And Samura's like, oh, Chihiro, and you know, thinking that he has to go defend him, but he's got other problems to deal with. As Akamura begins his offensive and launches his butterfly attack, as I guess Samura gets sliced in half and he's dead now,
I guess he's dead.
Along with the rest with the rest of the building.
He's fucking dead.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he's dead, but he got hit. It's clear he's that black speck you see at the beginning of that building being slashed. So he was
cut in half.
Yeah, he took that attack. He took that attack, bro. I don't know what's the results, but he didn't avoid it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He met it one way or another. And after launching this attack, before Chihiro could even finish saying Samura's name, Akamura's already has his sword at Chihiro's throat, and he's like, "How you've grown, Chihiro." And that is the end of this chapter. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Man, this was really close to being my RGC, but unfortunately, it was not. Honestly, surprisingly, I don't have too much to say on this chapter. This is still a lot of buildup. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is where everything flips on its fucking head for the heroes, and they are most definitely going to lose this fight. They are not ready for this shit. But I'm curious as to whether Chihiro's sword has a meaning to it, because Akamura looked at Chihiro, but he wasn't really looking at Chihiro. He was looking at Enten, which I feel like has, you know, maybe it's because he's a sword master. He only he cares more about swords than people.
I love
this. It's just because like Chihiro happens to be holding that sword. He probably recognizes it as one that didn't exist before, is my guess. He's just like, oh, so he must have had a different vision than I thought he would. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Just, I'm curious to see what his thoughts are on this, because I doubt he's going to kill Chihiro, or at least going to actually try to kill Chihiro, even though he could kill him whenever he wants, it seems. But this guy seems like a very different character than I thought he would be. Like, every time he speaks, every time he does something, it's just always not what I think he's gonna do. So we'll see. I'm very curious. He's kind of anime protagonist coded more than a villain at this point. It feels the way that he stretches and the way that he talks. But that's it. That's it for me.
This was my really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yours
Same.
too? Yeah.
I made a responsible choice.
Certified RGC.
Because there was another very alluring option, but I decided not to be a whore.
What you mean? They decided not to be a whore.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, all right, I guess. Yeah, this chapter was fucking sick, dude. Aura farming notwithstanding, it was just so cool, you know. Nakamura is a very interesting villain. I can't wait to learn more about him. You know, honestly, I shouldn't have given this the RGC because I'm pretty sure Samura is gonna die, and I should be, we should be eternally salty.
That's some petty shit, bro.
I should be eternally salty from here on out, but I won't do that because I am the unbiased king, and I will not be held back by bias, even though this series is actively fucking me. You know, so
No, the series isn't fucking you. You did it to yourself, bro. You decided to sit on that bike without a fucking seat. And you said, you know what? I'm not gonna have to sit down. And you know what happened? You got tired for 1 second, right?
And then
And said, oh wait, let me sit down real quick. And boom.
Boom.
In a quick lapse of judgment, you fucked yourself, bro.
No, I was being an honorable man riding without this bicycle seat. I was being an honorable man. But anyway, that notwithstanding. So
I know Brian appreciated that analogy. Not because he does that, but because he rides bikes constantly.
A bike analogy, you know. Those are hard to come by these days. Yeah, and this isn't even he chopped a couple of buildings in half, and he barely unsheathed the sword. So
yeah. Yeah.
Very cool early power scaling a little bit. I love it. It's just like, you know, I let them arrest me because I understood that to their tiny brains, I was wilding. I'm ahead of my time, truly, but I knew that I couldn't do it, you know, because of how everybody doesn't like when you eliminate a whole group of people like that. But you know, I was ahead of my time, you know. There's a reason my ultimate technique is Magasumi. You know, I'm just a free thinker, man, and nobody gets me. But
Make
man,
the enchanted swords great again.
yeah, it is literally what his goal is. Like, where are the swords? Why'd they lock them up? The liberals are putting away your swords. Libtards are coming for your enchanted swords. It's not looking good for everybody, but I really love this chapter. It was very cool to see Nakamura just be like, you know what? I'm back again, like I never left. Because turns out society didn't learn their lesson, and I gotta come back and deal with this. I don't know what his goals are now, you know, because he did accomplish his mission a long time ago. I don't know what else he wants. So I'm curious. I guess like he's just gonna gather all the enchanted blades, but he has to kill everybody first. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this goes.
It might be a join me or die situation.
But no one's gonna join him. They all tried to kill him.
Well, if they have to fend for themselves, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah. What if Sushi Man joins him?
That would be tough.
I don't know why. I'm like it. I have like this like slight suspicion.
I have a bad feeling about him too. I feel like he's not like, because where are you at, bro?
Where is everybody?
Where you at, bro?
There's 2 other swordsmen that.
No, they better stay hiding because we need the series to drag, and I better not see the second swordsman that we haven't seen for another few years, bro.
Damn, another few years.
Yeah, me like by the time like I might not see our next swordsman till I have I have a seed, bro. I want to be holding my fucking baby and then being like, oh, so that's who that is.
My son, look upon the second swordsman that we haven't seen yet.
And this is the start of a brand new arc with this character.
Yeah.
So it's not even the end yet.
Son, behold the Sushi Man.
Yeah.
He was built up early on before you were born. And now he's here.
So while you were swimming around in the sack.
While you were swimming around in the sack.
So I guess I'll start giving my thoughts.
Yeah, that's what your thoughts about.
This is one of those chapters that's dangerous for me because, like, I don't want to run my mouth on and on and on. So I'll try to be concise. With that said, this series has a lot of potential story-wise for me because I think the message is very obvious and clear about this series, right? And the thesis is pretty much like, you know, is violence a means to an end? If so, how much violence is adequate? How much is there is there like, you know, too much, right? Or whatever, right? Like very common basic things that people could like talk about. You don't need a college degree or nothing like that to kind of like figure out. And you know, there's a perceived sense of justice in this series, which is okay, we believe that massacring committing genocide is a bad thing, even if it was people we was at war with, therefore we sealed him away, right? That's a perspective, but that's only one perspective of the situation, especially since we don't know all the history, right? And I'm saying it that way because I'm very curious what the Shinichi Swordmaster has to say about what it is, you know, what the threat was and what they plan to do for the future. I wonder if they had discussions like that. But to me, it's a weird question for him to like for the Shinichi Swordmaster to say, why would he seal the swords? It makes sense on one hand because clearly he believes that violence, no matter, or I guess at least to me, I think once you commit genocide, it's really that's as far as you can go. Anything else is just a larger scale genocide. Well, you blow up a planet, that's planet genocide. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just feel like it's fair to say that violence is just not an obstacle for him. You know, that's what he believes. So sure, if he says, why would you lock up the swords, thinking we could just use these to just impose our might and make sure society was safe and ran well and all of that. But I don't think he doesn't seem that silly. And I say silly because, like, you know, clearly his brother would not have agreed with that, and the rest of the swordsmen didn't. And he knows that already. They fought him because they fucking disagree with what he did. You know, so you know, I'm really curious what their conversations were like for that reason. There's also the other subject about like, how do I put it? Oh, like, all right. That's what I was saying. So the message of the series is clear about like, challenging the fact that violence was wrong, or it maybe not being the case, and maybe we come to a conclusion that is right. I think that's not the main essence of the series, though. Like, I think that point is clear, and what's really interesting about the plot moving forward, and maybe even in retrospect from what's happened before, is really these characters kind of proving this thing right or wrong.
Mhm.
And I think, I'm not saying other series haven't done that, but I think it's kind of rare. And I think it's this series is really mature, but a lot of kids like this shit because there's a lot of flashy sword moves. Like, I'd be saying like, oh, this reminds me of Bleach, but I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I feel like that's saying something that's putting Bleach on a higher pedestal than it probably needs to be. I know I sound like such a hater, but bro, like I promise I'll read it again, but I just don't remember there being this real theme involved with Bleach more than it just being this shonen power fantasy. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, it's interesting off the fighting and power sets alone, but I think there's a lot to be said in between the lines, and I really I'm looking forward to seeing how the author handles this. He has to prove, he must prove that under no circumstances genocide the answer. Right. That's and not that I'm saying that is a universal truth. That's just what I agree on, and I hope the author agrees with that. And that's clearly something that characters have to wrestle with, because the malediction is the core essence of why this conflict right here. He bugged out. I mean, these people did something wrong. I'm tired of talking vaguely. Let me just explain how I feel. You had to have hope for progress, I feel like, in humanity and in general, right? Like, you have to believe that we're somewhere now and we can be better. Now, how you deem better and be different between you and I or whatever, right? That's subjective. That's fine. I'll give that, right? But like, at the end of the day, you can't. I don't. I think it's really self-destructive to believe at any point that we're like at the end of human history, like, oh, have achieved the best we can. We should always be pushing and striving for like betterment. You know what I mean? And we're not even at a point where we have to like search really hard for the cracks in our wall. But there's a lot of things to like worry about. So I see. I said the shots was dangerous because I just started ranting, and I'm kind of like losing the point of what I was trying to say. But I think the point is just that I think something like genocide is horrible. I think using violence is horrible, but sometimes you have to do it, or it's just a fact of reality that something happened in the past, and that should never be justification for continuing that way. We say, okay, let's make sure something like that never ever happens again, and do everything we can. And that's why Rokuhiro destroyed the swords. All right, it's coming back to me. Like that's my perspective on it, right? I mean, he destroyed the swords because that's probably why he's surprised about why did he make a decision to like seal them or whatever, because he probably didn't have that perspective that like until this guy showed just how much power these swords were capable of doing, and he thought, you know what, regardless of how much good we might have been able to do, the consequence if this gets in the wrong hands at any point, if anyone's get caught slipping and it gets robbed and someone can abuse this power, the amount of destruction it can cause is unreconcilable. Like it's unacceptable under no circumstance. Therefore, he sealed them away and only didn't destroy them because he knew that their people's lives were attached to it. So that was the most humane thing to do. We had a whole conversation about that before. This is just very well thought out. I really want to give the author this credit. I wanted to give the time to say this. Like, this is being put together really well. And I think for however long this series is, I'm really going to be paying attention to, how he addresses that message. How does Chihiro and the protagonist prove to this guy who actually in his mind completely saved the planet and everybody else and is going to go ahead and try to eradicate evil from the world, and this kid is just here to stop him? You know what I'm saying? How do you convince that? How do you convince people not to think that way?
Yeah.
I'm curious because I would like to do that in society now. I crave that. I wish I had I wish I knew all the answers to help somebody understand, what the real issues are versus what's something just being fed to you to make you upset, to distract you, etc., etc. Whatever. All right. Those are my thoughts, guys.
I actually have something I want to add on to that.
Yes, please.
When it comes to like the enchanted swords and their vision for being used, because there could be a chance, because so originally when the swords, like the initial batch was made, it was for war, right? There were weapons of war used to kill, right? So we don't know what Chihiro's dad's thought process for the enchanted blades was before, but we got to see what he viewed swords to be after the war through Chihiro. So I believe that there's a chance that we are seeing two schools of thought, one obsolete and one that is like that was forged correctly. You know what I mean? Like, there's a chance that Akamura was who Chihiro's dad thought should be wielding an enchanted blade, and it ended up being so horribly wrong. And he sealed away the swords, and then he forged a new one, and alongside that forged Chihiro to be the proper vision of what wielding a sword is supposed to be like, right? So I believe that this is like new school versus old school, like whoever's vision wins is the one that decides the fate for the future, kind of thing. So
for sure. Yeah.
And the fact that Akamura kind of has like a kind of ghostly figure to him is kind of like a shadow of the past coming back to fucking try to, consume the world. So, and one more thing on top of that, he kind of is a force of nature, so it makes sense that the blade manifests itself as kind of this ancient nature kind of overgrowth taking over the world. Like it's like a fucking like kind of like a tornado or like like a natural, it's like a natural like storm that's coming that you have to stop. So I think you hit the nail on the head on a lot of things. I did not think that much about this chapter, but that definitely opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. So thanks, Josh.
No doubt, man. I mean, thanks for giving me the space to really just kind of lay all my thoughts out. Like I said, I had a lot to say about this. I mean, you even gave me something to think about too, in your response. But I don't want to drag this on too much. I do want to say, do you actually have any rebuttals, Chris? Anything going on in your mind?
I think you guys really said a lot of really interesting things. I think part of the reason why this series is so well thought out and like kind of real in a sense is that there was kind of like a negative consequences to like a justifiable negative consequences to the blades not being around. And as we saw with Yura, we all thought of these blades as like something that was like we only saw them through the scope of just being this uncontrollable thing that we could only picture going into the wrong hands. But at the same time, there are people who suffered because there wasn't a strong enough force to really combat like really powerful sorcerers to like
Yeah, the
from doing,
rise of sorcerers. Yeah.
which is completely justifiable in a sense, and that's why it makes Yura such a good villain. Is that the best villains are like you can kind of you don't agree with what they do, but you understand why to some degree. And I think like Yura seeing the blades is like, well, this could have like saved everything. If we just had this, there would have been it would have been a deterrent at the very least for these sorcerers to have not wilded out while like during that time immediately after the war. You know, uh and that's like where that 3D thought comes in. I think there's definitely going to be a way deeper reason as to why Rokihiro like got rid of the blades. Because they're posing the question, we know going into the series why we have that initial thought of just like, well, these things are obviously too strong if they get into the wrong hands, like what we've seen with the paper guy. I forget his name. It's been a while since he's been around.
Oh,
I know his name also started with an H, but yeah, Hirohiko, thank you. Yeah, so we already seen an example of what happens when like something like the Kumayuri falls into the wrong hands, and we're seeing it now with the Shinichi. But I feel like there's a deeper reason as to why, because there's an entire philosophy. It's not that, and he did make another one. You know what I mean? If he really believed that the enchanted blades, like all in and of themselves, are bad, he would not have made the seventh. And I feel like the seventh, and we obviously see this too with sorry,
Akimura.
Looking at the N10 is that is kind of there's like the malediction that represents one thing and like is an answer to society's problems, and the N10 being the other. The N10 being conveniently like that thing, not conveniently really, but like being that thing that incidentally can destroy the other ones, and being the only thing that can destroy the other ones is like a pretty good start to how it works.
Yes, yo, you're hitting a lot of the things that. All right, my bad. Did you want to have like finish your thoughts?
No, that's it. I mean, like, yeah, right now there's so little that we know about that time, and I feel like I can see like even after this arc that we're probably going to get a pretty extensive flashback chapter or flashback arc about that time period and when the swords were made and all that stuff. Now that like ostensibly the big bad of the series is out, so we'll probably get to learn more about it, at least through one person's point of view. And there's probably going to be multiple angles that we'll revisit throughout the series. But I feel like after this, we're probably due for an initial like world building flashback arc about like the sword bearer era, the sword bearers era.
Yeah, but, I know we're gonna get something like that.
Yeah, but
man, I just a couple quick thoughts. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got a couple more, and this is just building off of what both you and Brian said. Honestly, I've been thinking about this since like Brian said it, and then you kept like just like building on it. But like, all right, first thing I'm gonna say is that for real, this is a series about trauma. Straight up, main character had his father die. The other main characters in the series, people who are either the special swordsman or people really close to the special swordsman. You know what I'm saying? All of them got affected by either the malediction, or someone else getting an enchanted sword and wreaking havoc. Not everything has to do with the enchanted swords, but and of course, Kagurabachi would not be the only series that is about trauma or whatever, right? But it's so interesting in the context of like what's happening in the plot, because he is a ghost. This nigga Akamura is a ghost. And I thought, not only is he a ghost, this nigga's Chihiro, bro. Or not Chihiro specifically, but you know, Chihiro's a talented kid. He had a knack for sword fighting. You know what I'm saying? He trained a lot, but like that nigga is naturally gifted for sure. He's like, you know, one of those. And that's fine. It's not really an inherently issue. This nigga can really fight. He's got a sense for it. You know what I'm saying? And he also has very, very stubborn like values that he holds. You know, so I think it is. I think Akamura was similar to what Chihiro is, right? And I think the difference between these two is that Chihiro experienced his father dying, had to cope with it, but kept the messaging of his father strong to help him cope with him dying, which was live and, you know, make the world a better place or whatever, so to speak, right? Maybe Akamura, maybe something happened to a loved one from the people on the island, and he just thought, no, like, these people are just not capable. Like, I don't ever want to risk something happening again. Like, maybe he got affected and then reacted in such an extreme way. But then another perspective is that, like you were saying, Chris, these swords were built for war. It's not like the swords existed prior to this guy coming and then they selected swordsmen. They built this. The Rokuhiro built the swords while he was getting invaded by the Datanseki Island people, and then he like chose like the people like after the fact. So like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna stop right there. I lost my train of thought again, and I think it's time to fucking move on from the series.
Yeah.
Fantastic point is, this nigga Akamura, like I think the swordsmen were created in a time of trauma for war, and after the malediction, Rokuhiro realized, like, yo, we can't continue this. Let's retire the swords, but I'm gonna make this new sword because I think we could still do something special with this stuff, and let me give it properties beyond just violence. Those are my last thoughts. All right, I'm ready to move on, guys. Sorry.
Hell yeah. All right, let's move onward. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. This is Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 15, The Forbidden Technique Unleashed. Oh boy, so we actually get color pages in this, not just cover, but we get a single colored chapter, which is page, which is nice. So Yuka is at the airport and she is not feeling too good, fam. She is not doing great. She's literally like, she can barely walk. Mino pulls up with a wheelchair because he notices that she's literally like passing out as she's walking. And he's like, would you like to use this after all?
Just the brain cancer.
Yeah. And she's like, thanks, Mino. And then we get this really cool color page cover. Very, very cool. Very well drawn. Very sick. Very sick. And we get an internal monologue from Yuka as she's remembering that she's thinking to herself that if she gets reborn, she would like to be the older sister because she spent 16 years finding out exactly what a younger sibling would want. You know, she always talked about how she went easy on Tsurugi. She let him have the first pick of snacks. He taught him all the cheat codes. And, you know, he was like a terrible older brother because he was supposed to be doing all that stuff for her. But she's saying that fondly in a sense. Mino tries to talk to her some more and she's like, Tsurugi. And she's like, yeah, what about him? And, you know, she can't even tell people apart anymore. She thinks that Mino is Tsurugi. He's like, I thought I told you not to come. I was trying to act tough. I wasn't trying to act tough. I just didn't want you to see me like this. You know, and you're the type of guy who thinks he's being nice when he tells a girl she looks better without makeup. You're just a nice guy. You know, he's like, I swear, you really don't understand how girls feel. Oh, not even your little sister. And Mino can't even hold back tears because she's like, going through this delusional like mindset because of her illness, and you know, he's like holding her hand, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." And that contact kind of brings her back to her younger years where she was hanging out with Tsurugi, and she was actually on a she was helping her friend who was possessed by a vengeful spirit, and that couldn't be graded, and you know, she wanted to help, but she thought she could do it herself, but Tsurugi showed up and helped her, and she didn't think that she would die if Tsurugi hadn't shown up, but she definitely was thinking her friend might have died. She wouldn't have been able to save her friend without Tsurugi there. So, and he never blamed her, you know, and all she could do is rely on his kindness. And that's all sweet and very good. But enough of that, because we got to get into some cool Jujutsu Kaisen world building. Dabra is already at the spot. And there's these crows around, and Dabra asked this old looking guy with a familiar little like fishtail hairdo over his face. He's completely hooded this entire time. He's like, "Are you the chosen warrior?" He's like, "No, I am but an old man. I have come to greet you on behalf of Earth's Jujutsu sorcerers before the duel." And he introduces himself. He introduces himself as Ui Ui, master of the new shadow style. You know, teleporting kid.
Is Ui Ui the kid?
Yeah, Ui Ui is the
so that's the kid.
Yeah, that's the kid.
Oh, he has his hair just like the girl did.
Yeah.
Man, like,
yeah,
I see.
Yeah, this is that kid that had that strange relationship with his older sister.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, "I would like to express my gratitude to you, king from another planet. You see, these kids don't know what it's like to give it up like that these days. When I was a boy, shit, I saw Sukuna versus Gojo, and that was peak. Yeah. But these kids have never witnessed peak."
Yeah, that's literally what he's saying. I watched the Inhuman Makio show.
I was there for Shinjuku for Shibuya. I was there for the Inhuman Makio Shinjuku showdown.
Yeah.
I was out here in these streets seeing real people fight. And these guys haven't seen one. So, you know, I'm just happy that you could show
I've seen
them.
Gojo win and lose in the same fight.
That was crazy. I was a part of Lobotomy Kaisen.
Crazy. How you win and lose?
But yeah, he's like, these children have no idea what it's like when a living creature reaches the peak of violence. And I'm very excited that you can show them. You can show them the true terror of the curses that spill out from our very guts. I'm like, all right, Ui, calm down, you weirdo.
Whoa, lay.
Dabra is like, all right. I mean, I can't really show you anything unless I'm fighting someone, and I'm not gonna. I don't think you want me to fight these kids. He's like, you know, like unless they're truly worthy, it will be over before they can see a thing. And Ui is like, not to worry. I think you'll be quite satisfied, and I'm sure your loneliness will be eased. And as we see, as Yuka's plane flies over the sky, the hatch opens up behind Yuka, and she falls out. But right before that, she thinks to herself that if she gets reborn, she'd like to be the little sister again, which is very sweet. As she falls out, and her chair falls apart as she falls, and she would want her older brother to be, Tsurugi. But that's enough out of that. As she's landing on the ground, we see her use that familiar pose. And we see a bunch of the 10 shadow animals pull up. And as she's like right before she hits the floor, she looks at Dabra and she's like, "I'm sorry, Dabra. With this treasure, I summon 8-handled sword, Divergent Sila Divine General Maharaga." So Maharaga's back like he never left. And immediately Dabra shoots like a billion light spears at him, impaling Maharaga like 20 billion times. And it's at that point we get narrator Sama returning to say Dabra's curse technique. Dabra Karaba's curse techniques. He has two. The first one is censored, but the last one is light. And the censored curse technique is a murderous intent given tangible form, a concept impossible for Earthlings to even describe in words, even describe in word passed down through the Diskunte tribe. So Jujutsu Kaisen's back, everybody. And it's at this point we end the chapter as the narrator also mentions that this is the first time in recorded history Maharaga's adaptation towards an extraterrestrial curse technique begins. And we see the wheel start to turn a little bit on Maharaga. And
which means he did not die.
He did not die. In fact, he started his adaptation. And that is where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 15?
This almost got the RGC for me.
Oh.
I almost gave it the RGC just off the strength of the coolness of this chapter.
Right?
It's going for all the tropes. All the tropes is playing on my anime manga loving heart, my weeb heart.
My little weeaboo.
It was cool. It was really cool. They even gave us the not even a cameo, the fucking legit feature, a legit throwback feature. Like, yeah, this character from the past, they about to tell you, hey, oh, we ain't scared of you, Dabra. We got some stuff too. Even this girl saying, I'm so sorry. And I was like, that's a little presumptuous, don't you think?
Yeah.
I feel like if you guys really thought it was like that, no, that's not true. I don't think they would have said it on him way sooner. But yeah, I mean, I guess they had no reason to believe that Maharaga would lose. It hasn't lost yet.
Well, it has lost. It's only lost twice.
It
Lost
to Gojo. Yeah, technically he lost to Gojo. Yeah,
it lost to Sukuna as well. So
it did lose to Sukuna
in Shibuya. Yeah.
So
he got it with the arrow, right?
Yeah, he vaporized it.
Yeah, I think the arrow took it out.
So if this guy is as strong as either one of them, chances are he's gonna win. Damn. But if Maharaga comes back again after this, it will actually be the strongest thing in all of existence, I think.
See, this is what I think the real angle is. I think this is going to be about Maharaga getting out of control. Maybe it could be, that's a crazy take, but like, I think that's the real issue because they're talking about him adapting to a new thing, and that means they don't know how. Like, it's going to like be a very like unpredictable reaction. So, yeah, my mind runs wild. She ain't never used no new shadow abilities before. I mean, shadow style abilities before, right? Is this the first time?
Yeah, this is the first time. Probably learned it for this specific thing.
Yeah, right. That was the binding vow. Please let me have all the knowledge of my grandpa.
Please let me spam Maharaga like my ancestors.
Yes. It beat Gojo, right? Well, it beat the other 6 eyes from the past.
Yeah.
That was so funny when he was like, yo, your clan killed the leader of my clan in the past, who's the only person the 6 eyes ever lost to. And he just was like, oh.
Cool.
Yeah, anyway. Those are my thoughts. Brian, what were your thoughts on this chapter? Maharaga!
Once more, I guess this is a classic Gege thing. It's not even just Hokazono. But you think that you're going to see one chapter, and it ends up being a completely different chapter the next. So we were like, oh yeah, I'm really excited to see this clash between Jujutsu and Curse Techniques from these two characters. And then Gege's like, actually, no, you're gonna see it from these two characters instead.
Where's Ui Ui?
Oh yeah, Ui Ui. So technically, Ui Ui is probably the new modern age Kenjaku, if you really think about it, because he can just swap his fucking soul into different bodies. So technically, him and his sister could be alive forever, and all those kids are just kids who are going to become.
He's back.
Who? Ui Ui?
Kenjaku?
No, he's dead.
No, but my point is that he's basically Kenjaku without needing to swap brains. He could just switch out people's souls out of their bodies and take them.
I think that was temporary though.
I don't think so.
Because like I think Yuji kept getting kicked out of bodies.
Maybe it's different when it comes to him, but
I have no idea.
The fact that the kids look exactly like them as well is concerning. Because it's like they are grooming them to essentially be fucking shells for them to crawl into once they die. You know what I mean? Is what I'm thinking. So, like, what if right when they're about to die, they swap, the soul goes into their body and dies? So that means they have no soul, no body to return to. So they just stay in the young body. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be something, but whatever they're doing, it's fucked up. There's no
right now, then.
Okay, Brian. Sorry to clarify. Ui Ui, if Ui Ui's target for his spatial transference is a person, the technique targets their body and soul altogether. If given permission, he can target only the soul, which allows him to switch the souls of his marked targets without changing the shapes of their bodies. This application of Ui Ui's technique can only be used twice per person in a month.
Damn.
What you're saying, it's not saying that it's not permanent.
I guess not. I guess technically it's not saying that it's not permanent.
So yeah, whatever's going on here, it's fucked up, and I hate it.
I also hate that there's a child that suspiciously looks like Mei Mei.
So we'll see what the fuck that's all about. Actually, no, we won't probably. He probably just pulled up just to show how fucked up he was and then leaves.
Check this shit out.
You thought we were fucked up before.
Well, what are these? What do you think these are? Incest babies or something?
But that's it. I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, this chapter was fucking peak. Just the coolness factor alone. When Maharaga came onto the scene, I'll tell you what. I mean, this was a cool way to do the entrance. You know, her just like withdrawing into the shadow, and then Maharaga popping up like a Smash Brothers character. Yeah, it was so cool. It was like very much like a video game fighting entrance. And he's like, you know what it is, you know who I am. You know, in the anime, they better like edit in like an applause from an audience. They gotta go,
yeah.
Man,
damn, this shit is so cool.
It's good to see Maharaga again, and he's drawn so well, you know.
Yeah,
very badass.
He's such a cool looking character in general.
Great design. And Dabra's immediate attack is pretty sick as well. I'm excited to see how,
yeah, he didn't waste a moment.
Yeah, he was like, no, what the fuck is that? You kill it with fire, dude.
Whoa.
This thing's got wings for eyes. I don't like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, all this coolness is kind of overshadowing, you know, the very sweet like sentiment from Yuka, especially given how this series started out with them being like very having a lot of animosity towards each other. It's cool to see what like, you know, this perspective is giving. Man, there's not a whole lot to say outside of that. It's just like kind of very emotional up top, then very cool Ui Ui um flash
Yeah.
appearance cameo. One thing I was thinking about is like, well, Uyui's got to be alive, you know? Like, if Nobara is alive, then Uyui's definitely got to be alive, you know?
It's really
I didn't
fucked
even
up what
think
he
about
became.
that. I feel like I forgot about so many of the characters.
Yeah, yeah, you know, it's one
sorry.
because you sorry, baby.
We're not sorry.
We strong.
Yes, y'all are.
We strong.
He was like, "You're not, and it's okay."
And that's
I want you
okay.
guys to stay.
It's such a great video. Yeah, but that's all I really got. Great chapter overall. Very cool overall. Does anybody have anything else to say?
No.
All right, then let's move onward.
We call that easy money, GG.
Dandadan.
All right. So the chapter picks up with Okarun taking Momo home, to which she's just and as he's leaving, Momo is kind of like, yo, wait a second. You kind of got like fucking stabbed, my guy. So she brings him inside to give him first aid, and she's the one who's in pain, even though Okarun is the one with the wounds on him. And Vamola comes in and offers food to the two of them. And Okarun's like, nah, I'll pass. And Momo's like, nah, you gotta stay, you gotta eat. Vamola's a good cook. So they sit there and they start eating. And as they're eating, Momo and Okarun are kind of like exchanging looks at each other. And Momo goes, yo, why do you keep staring at me? And then Okarun goes, I should be the one asking you that. And then they start kind of bickering between each other. And Vamola, while eating, she just goes, you two are really getting along, huh? And Momo does a tsundere kind of as if kind of thing.
Tsundere.
And as they're washing dishes, they're kind of talking about the aliens and the mummies and shit like that. And Vamola looks like she's like falling over. I don't know why she's like drawn sideways like that.
Yeah. I think she's just like standing at an angle for some reason.
It looks like she just fell over in the middle of their conversation. But they continue to talk about all this stuff. And Okarun tells Momo to stay close to someone as much as possible, because everybody's in it together. And Gigi and what's her name? What's her her first name?
Momo?
No, the Shiratori.
Oh shoot, I know it.
I always forget her name.
Arisa, something like that.
I always forget her name specifically, which is sad.
Ira,
there you go.
Yeah.
But Gigi and he says that Gigi and Ira are really strong, so she could depend on them. And then Momo's like, but it seems like you and that Shiratori girl got some hanky panky going on. I wouldn't want to get in the way. And Momo looks at her and he goes, why would you say something like that?
You know what's funny? I don't really know how he meant that. I don't know if he meant that like, how could you dare say that? You know how I feel about you, or was it like, why the fuck would you say some old timey shit like that. Like, I haven't heard that since like 2002 or something.
Yeah.
Hanky panky.
And then they
maybe
kind of
it's just me, but
no, hanky panky is definitely an old person's thing.
Momo apologizes, and then Okaroon snaps his head towards her, and they just start like staring at each other, and then she looks away, and Momo and Okaroon celebrates, and he goes, "Yes, I won!" And they just start bickering as Vamola comes in, and she's like, "Congratulations, Takakura, what happened?"
Congratulations.
They start arguing about who won and what was going on. And Okaroon, for winning, he says, "Please go on a date with me," which is huge. Huge news.
Huge.
And he goes, "You lost after all, but you're looking away from me now." And the argument continues on into another room, and Vamola's kind of like Vamola is just hovering behind them, just like, well, I don't know what the word is, like she's just smiling, but it's like one of those head empty smiles. Yeah, she's just like so happy to be behind them. And the argument kind of finally gets down to a point where they're just literally growling at each other, and Vamola is looking at the both of them and goes, "It looks like you're gonna kiss." And Momo looks away again, and then Okaroon goes, "She looked away again! I won!" And Vamola deems Okaroon the winner, and that's where the chapter ends. Chris, what were your thoughts?
Man, I really enjoyed this chapter. Vamola is like the MVP of this chapter. I thought she was so funny in this.
Yeah, she was.
Just like her being like a little
good middleman.
Yeah, just really just sitting there being like kind of like a gossipy almost. She just likes watching the drama. It's very adorable, and her like little interjections is like, "Whoa, congratulations, you won! Wait, what happened?" You know, it's very adorable. It's like very funny. It adds a lot. It's one of those things where Vamola I don't really like see a lot of, in terms of her character development, and this is like a great showcase of what she's kind of becoming, and just being like closer and being part of the team. She's like one of the more understated characters, I guess, thus far. Mostly because she's like kind of adapting to this new planet and shit. But yeah, this was a very cool use of her character, and I really liked it. I think it made the chapter a lot better. The big old asking her out on a date thing. We didn't get an answer for that, but I'm hoping we will soon. Our boy is making some big strides.
Well, he won twice, so
that's true. Okaroon's getting bold out here. He's like, man, after we got out of that game puzzle thingy, I said that I will tell you how I feel, and now here I am.
Yeah, he's been going hard.
Yeah, you gotta be consistent. You know what I mean? Not weird, but like, you gotta be consistent. But yeah, those are all my thoughts. I really enjoyed this chapter. It was just like a fun little read. Yeah. Josh, what did you think?
No, I thought Vamola being here was really funny. This was like perfect. So it wasn't just like someone else to like play off of. But I don't really have that much more to say about the chapter. It's just more cute shit. I like it. I just don't really have much to say other than like this is, for a series that a lot of people going in about, them showing a girl in her panties and shit like in the first few chapters. This is like, if you could get past that shit, the author takes his time to build the relationship between characters, and this is just more of that. And it's cool. It's like Okaroon gets to make her fall in love again. I really like that he's not backing down. He's going about it the right way. He's not expecting anything. He's just trying.
Yeah, he's just putting it.
That's all I have to really say. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I feel like I can't really blame anybody for being like kind of weirded out because it is weird. The first few like arcs, I get it to some degree, but there really is something deeper in Dandadan, you know, and you know, I think it's worth it getting through that early stuff. That, you know, I don't, you know, it is what it is, but I think like it had a purpose, and you know, it was something like that. It feels like it is worth it to get past that kind of stuff to get to the actual like character rich stuff of Dandadan. Yeah. Brian, what did you think?
This is a cute little chapter. It was so wholesome and heartwarming to see these two like kind of reconnect in this way, and in some ways kind of stronger than they were before. And for Okarun to be so bold, you know, I feel like he really came out of his shell. Like he was just doing things that he never really done before in the series. It felt like he was kind of leading the dance in some ways. So this is just a cute little chapter, but I feel like Vimola was definitely the star of it because she was such a like lovable goofball the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, guys. That was. Are we ready to close it out?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. That was Dandadan, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at jdcole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on both Twitter and Instagram. Catch him where he's streaming at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Email the podcast at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we'll answer it on our pre-show chat show. We didn't do one this week, but we will be back next week. So stay tuned, everyone. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, a share, all that stuff. Comment your thoughts on the chapters and whatever, blah 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 blah. Do all the stuff, guys. Insert nice call of action thing here. We're also on iTunes and Spotify and all that jazz. So if you prefer the audio podcast, I think we're on YouTube Music as well. So if that's your preferred music app, I imagine we're on there just by extension of being on YouTube. So check us out on that. And yep, that'll be it. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks for listening.